In this video, I'll continue to go through the binders of a large collection that I recently got in Kansas City. This first binder is going to be the first set Premiere black border. And a lot of nice cards in here. A Vader that looks very good, trying to get a angle on it, but at least on the front. I don't want to take it out now, I don't want to handle it, but I don't really see any surface wear or edge wear, so that's a real nice card. But yeah, a lot of good cards in this set. Especially it's the first set, so there of course would be a lot of chase cards to get people to buy it. But Tarkin, and nothing here. I mean, sometimes in binders you can't always tell what's worn or not, but nothing here screams lots of edge white or bending or anything like that. Vader's lightsaber. So very well organized and put together collection here. Dark Jedi Presence, another nice rare one. A lot of interesting red cards, but not too much to write home about. Now here's a nice page. Okay, so it looks like we went by Rebels first. So Han, Leia, Luke, and Obi-Wan. Maybe he just went rares, or... Okay, so it looks like it was the Rebels in alphabetical order, more or less. Then we get into aliens. The Falcon. Obi-Wan's saber, Han's blaster, even the quad laser cannon in uncommon is a pretty good card. And then into the red cards. Jedi Presence. Fun card if I can ever pull it off. Happens sometimes. And then this looks like the Premiere introductory game, so fairly difficult to play versions of Luke and Vader. Just glancing at the Vader, he's pretty beat up, but that's okay. I have literally 100 of them. He's not a super useful card. He was only really designed to be in the introductory game because of his game text that limits his deployment if opponent has unique characters. Okay, so these must be cards from the Premiere set. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to compare these to white border cards from a booster pack to see if there's any difference. Okay, so the free Jedi pack. I don't know if I ever got one of these in a store, but I've come across a lot of them since then. And then also these are two corrected cards. So Asteroid Sanctuary was either they didn't test it very well, or they put the wrong text on there and they ended up correcting it, or at least fixing it to make it less damaging to the dark side. And then R3PO is a pretty valuable card, actually. This was one that was originally misprinted, and then you could send in and get the proper version of it. That version has the right image. He's a red protocol droid, like a red C-3PO kind of, whereas the wrong image was a whitish looking C-3PO, which was also the image for another card from that set. So they used the same image twice on accident. Okay, so here's Premiere white border. This looks, I'll take this Vader out. So he's in some surface wear and a little bit of bending, so that's kind of a rough card. But that black border set looked pretty good. So we're going to see the same cards, probably the same order, but different borders, of course. And I might just skip ahead to the light side ones here. So Luke and Obi-Wan and Han. Just at first glance, these look a lot better than the Vader did. Falcon looks nice. Kind of gotta, when they're in the sleeves, you gotta see them at a certain angle to see if there's a lot of surface wear and whatnot. So skipping through the red cards a bit. And that's it for white border Premiere. I'm trying to remember how long ago it was. Maybe 2002. I think I got a full set of white border Premiere for $20. That seemed like a good deal back then. That'd be a great deal today. It's kind of after the game was starting to take a downturn for a bit because of the fact that Decipher wasn't going to print it anymore for all sorts of reasons. And I heard there's a documentary coming out about that. Hopefully that'll be out soon. Not a lot of great characters for the dark side in A New Hope, but The Conquest is a nice Star Destroyer to get. The Death Star's here as well. New Hope's about I think it's exactly half as big as Premiere in terms of number of cards. There's less great cards to get. Here's R2, was looking for him. Droids look to be at the end of the characters. But for the light side especially, there were some good starships. So Tantive 4, Red 2, and Red 5 are all in there. Plus Red 6, which is one of the cooler looking X-Wings in my opinion. Some red cards here. Attack Run lets you blow up the Death Star. And a Hoth. And the Veers looks alright. Good surface. 2 star. This is definitely a cool page. 2 unique Star Destroyers, 3 unique walkers, and a non-unique walker. Anytime you get one of those guys in a pack, it's probably a pretty good pack. Trample. One of the better interrupts from the earlier sets. Luke looks pretty good. Nice even surface. And you got 3 snow speeders right in a row. I do like these pages. They're pretty nice. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, they're is it BCW something? I'm not sure what, but kind of that clawfish background is much nicer on the cards. They do seem like they can fall at the sides a little bit, but in any case, they're much better than I think they're Ultra Pro sleeves that have a bit of a rigidity to them that makes them almost bend the cards, in my opinion. All right, the next one we got here. ESB intro game, Dagobah, and first anthologies. That's a good mix of stuff. Special cards only available from there. Some reprints here, but a lot of Whitewater Hoth with the 1997 copyright date, is it? It's hard to find it. Okay. 1996, so... Oh, I see. You're right. I got that mixed up. So usually Whitewater cards are 1998 if they're Hoth, Dagobah, or A New Hope. That's when the revised sets came out. I believe it's 98, but these ones are 96. So if you find Whitewater Hoth cards with a 96 copyright date, or Whitewater Premiere cards with a 96 copyright date, then you know that you're dealing with the reprints. I should say the reprints of Premiere. And into Dagobah now. An interesting set, because if you were going to get a light side rare, there weren't a whole lot of great ones to get. We'll see what the 2 best ones would be, but for dark side, that's where they introduced a lot of the bounty hunters, the ones that were on the Executor, except for Boba Fett and their starships. So that's it. Oops, I'm off the frame a little bit. And the starships here, that is a pretty cool looking page. So introduce a TIE that I'm not sure if it existed before Decipher made it up. Maybe it did. But TIE bombers, 4 bounty hunter ships, and 2 very nice looking Star Destroyers. And then the bounty hunter weapons. A lot of red cards that messed up the game for various reasons. So, well, the light side ones are a bit better for that in terms of giving the examples. But there's the 2 big light side cards, Luke and Yoda. Some Jedi tests to make Luke more effective and give you some bonuses at the same time. But cards like this where you would automatically recirculate your used pile, that would allow people to combine that with Droid Merchant and hiding in the garbage, maybe a couple other cards, I forget exactly which, to basically just take an infinite turn and win the game just with a timeout. When they ran out of time, they would have more cards left in their life force, so they win. And as far as I understand it, that's how it went. read an article about it once, a long time ago. But so Dagobah needed a lot of erratas, and that's probably one of the big reasons they did the revised sets was because of Dagobah. Oh, and here's First Anthology. So gives you a good breakdown of what comes in it. And then we got some preview cards from Special Edition. So Special Edition wasn't out yet, but we got 6 preview cards from it. And some nice, I mean, not main characters, but Boba and Wedge are right up there. And then the last binder for this video Cloud City and Jabba's Palace. So even today, these are 2 of the easier sets to get. They were printed pretty heavily. There's some pretty great cards to get in there though, like Boba Fett, his ship Slave 1. There is a dark side Lando, and we'll see a light side one later. Boba's gun. Epic Duel is pretty neat. I mean, causing massive force loss and or people to turn to the dark side. It was a very cool card. I don't know if I ever pulled it off, but just the idea of having that much of the game at stake just on one duel, well, I guess, I mean, it fits the title. It is pretty epic. Could be probably a game-deciding duel, depending on when it happens and if you can recover from your Obi-Wan dying or maybe your Luke. Very useful card, excluding somebody from battle. Now we're into the light side, so Han, Lando, Leia, Luke's blaster. There's no Luke in the set, but they do have Luke's blaster there. Clash of Sabers is the light side version of You Are Beaten. And this one is cool in Jedi Master decks. Instead of drawing Battle Destiny, you can use the ability number of one of your characters. So if you have an ability 7 Jedi Master, you basically just played 1 interrupt to draw a 7 for Battle Destiny. So I love that card in Jedi Master oriented decks. A lot of aliens in Jabba's Palace. The main one to get for the dark side is Jabba the Hutt. Thermal Detonator is a pretty neat card. I remember trying to use this in games before, being able to draw Destiny and add 3 to it to be able to capture a character can be pretty annoying, but the force it costs is massive to use it. We got Leia. And we'll see Lando here pretty quick. There he is. And then R2 must be over here, yep. Okay. Still a useful card to this day, being able to make the opponent's force drains -1 at a sight, plus you can have 2 on the table at a time. And that looks like it for Jabba's Palace. Another fun card to put in Jedi Master decks, being able to steal weapons from your opponent. Or maybe if you have a bunch of cards in your use pile, you can go find a lightsaber that you maybe activated and spent the force on rather than being able to find it in your reserve deck. But that was essentially the early sets of the game. I'll continue on later, starting with Special Edition and a few other things. But very well organized collection, especially with these pages. It's really easy to flip through, so it's kind of nice just to go through this guy's collection that I recently got and just see how well, to go through the game and all that. But in any case, I will be posting another video soon, continuing through this very, very neat collection. Hope you tune in for that one, and thanks for watching.